Welcome back, everyone, to our playthrough of the career mode here in NASCAR Heat 2. So it's time for our next hot seat offer from the Xfinity series. This time it's with a four-star team. It's with the 28 car, and we're going to be at Michigan. Now, I really like the look of this 28 car. Of course, you can tell immediately by looking at that bright green that that's something that appeals to me. But we're looking for a top 15 finish here, and the payout would be $105,000. Again, the payout really doesn't mean anything because the money is useless in this game, in the career mode. But it's always nice to see that you can make increasing amounts of money through the Truck Series, Xfinity, and then finally into the Cup Series. So a four-star team at Michigan. This should be interesting. We know what kind of dealings we've had in the past at Michigan, what kind of racing we've had. So it'll be interesting to see how it works out this time, having a four-star car to run there. So without further ado, let's head to the track. All right, folks, here we go. We are green at Michigan. Now, the hilarious thing here was that in qualifying, you can see we're dead last. And we were about a second and a half off the pole. The hilarious part of that is this is a track that you can easily run wide open. Easily. And I was a full second and a half off. And the funny thing is, these guys will be lifting. As fast as they ran in qualifying, they will be running that much slower in the race. Now, how much speed do we have for them overall? We'll have to wait and see, but you can see right now they're running this track basically like it's Talladega. Around the bottom, all the way around the track, straightaways and corners. So I'm trying to give them a little bit of room here, lifting off the gas quite a bit. All right, so we're just going to try to pass this. We're going to take this one at a time and try to pass the cars we can when we can. Yeah, they're off the gas quite a bit. All right, 21 come down to block us a little bit, then he gave us some room. So yeah, for right now, we have plenty of speed to make passes. Let's see what we can do on this bottom side. I'm sure we'll end up having to use the top side more, but for now, we're going to use the bottom as much as possible. So I'm lifting pretty early, actually, before we get to the entrance, just to make sure I give these guys as much room as I possibly can. There is no out of bounds here at this track, so you can go wherever you want, which normally doesn't come into play at Michigan. But here, because they're running this thing like Talladega, it kind of makes you wonder if these guys have ever seen a race at Michigan whenever they designed the AI. All right, so we're inside the 00. All right, so far so good. We're going to go, I really don't want to be up here, but we're going to go up here for now. And the reason I don't want to be up here is because at some point, this freight train effect, this drafting effect is going to take hold, and we're going to get freight trained on the outside. I just don't know how far toward the front that's going to be before that happens. But when it does happen, it's going to be bad for us if we're on the high side. But so far, so good. Able to pass Harvick. Let's see if we can get him down in this corner. All right, yeah, we'll get him here. All right, so now we come up on Darrell Wallace, who in real life I wish was still driving this car. He's definitely a very talented driver, and I hope he comes up with a ride somewhere in some series for next year. All right, you can see right now we're getting freight train. We just simply don't have the horsepower to stick with them on the straightaway. And let's see if we can make up enough through the corner to make the pass on Amarola. Doesn't look like it. All right, so we're going to have to head back to the bottom as soon as we can, if I can find an opening. All right, 22, I believe, is who is up in front of us. Yeah, so we got the 22 car to give us a little bit of drafting help. If they'll stay single file for us, that will be helpful. All right, running this high on the track is probably not good for us. It would be nice if the 51, comes right up the track to help us out with the draft. Oh, and there we go. They just run us off the track. Good job there. One of the moments when I just love the AI. They decide that I've been in their way for far too long. All right, let's get down underneath some of these guys. All right, so we're up to the top 15. All right, I'm going to lift because I know Keselowski is going to lift going into the corner. Boy, Keselowski's really sticking to the bottom. Again, it's just the really annoying thing here is how unrealistic the AI are racing this track right now. This is just not good. Oh. And that really bothers me. Maybe more than it should, because I understand this is an arcade game. But to me, this is one of those times where I just want to say, you just got to be better than this. You just have to do better than this. All right, let's see if we can pass them on the high side. They might actually have too much speed at this point. We've made it up far enough in the field that I think we found a spot where the outside is no longer going to work for us, but we're going to find out soon. All right, so you can see we get a nice run through here. But now we come to the straightaway, and we don't have any drafting help whatsoever, and they're going to push us out of the way regardless. So that's nice. So yeah, we're able to fight back quite nicely, but we just don't have enough to get by them right now. Not without going to the bottom side. Again, we're all over them in the corner. Just not enough room for me to get down on the bottom. All right, so we'll fall in behind them here. There we go. Now we'll see if we can't get a really good run through here. Oh wow, I'm getting too good of a run. All right, so I'm going to drag the brake a little bit here. And Keselowski does not want me to get below him. But I am going to keep trying. There we go. He had to give us room there because I was already underneath it. He didn't like it though. But that's not our problem. All right, we're going to have to lift some here because that's exactly what they're doing in front of us. So Rhodes, we got a nice run here on him. Wow, way out of the gas here for Reddick. And we'll try to get underneath him as well. That won't work. Didn't quite have the steam ahead. All right, so a couple more laps. All right, let's see if we can dispatch of him. And hold your line. Are you going to tell me where the car is that I'm trying to pass? All right, so let's just go ahead and duck back in behind him. All right, we need to get a run on him. All right, this is the final lap. So this is our final opportunity to do anything with him. We get that 11th spot. All right, we got a nice run on him. We got to go for it now. Yep, he's going to bump us out of the way. Yep, he just got too much force on the straights. And he was guarding that inside quite nicely for him. All right, so pretty competitive there. We'll take home our 12th place finishing position. Which, interesting when you pull up the Xfinity points and see us with 2 wins, even though we've run very few of the races as it currently stands. All right, let's go ahead and finish the event. Head back to the main menu and see what's on tap for the next race. So it tells us, nice job with that top 15 finish today. We'll keep you in mind for a ride next season. All right, so we'll get our payout of $105,000. Very nice. And more importantly, it means that we should have an offer from that team to drive full time for them in Xfinity next season. Okay, so that also puts us over $1 million in earnings in our career mode. Very nice. And now we're back to the Truck Series for Iowa, which should be a lot of fun, quite a bit of fun. And I can't wait to get to it, but that'll be, of course, in our next video. For now, we're going to end it here. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more of our playthrough of career mode here in NASCAR Heat 2.